And a very good evening, everyone, from inside the gym at Leominster High School. We welcome you to Rivalry Family Media's coverage of Pod 6 high school basketball on a major Monday matchup. It's Rivalry Week. We've waited almost 365 days to say it. Rivalry Week has begun. It began over the weekend. Leominster and Fitchburg Monty Tech matching up in ice hockey, and now tonight, the rivalry returns to the hardwood as Leominster plays host to Fitchburg in girls basketball. The Blue Devils come in with a record of 4-0, perfect through the first 2 weeks of this 5-week season. The Red Raiders and Coach Paul DiGeronimo almost perfect through the first 2 weeks, stubbing their toe in their last game against Quabbin, 43-33. They come in with a 3-1 overall record. Great to have you join us courtside alongside Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins. Todd Robbins, happy to be here tonight for Rivalry Family Media, and great to have this matchup, and great to be back with Rivalry basketball action. It's been a long time coming until these two schools came back together. COVID had deprived us of a number of different rivalry matchups, including throughout the fall when both schools got placed in separate pods, and throughout the Twin City there was no rivalry matchup to talk about, even though both schools were competing in that fall one season. First thing everybody looked at when they looked at the alignments for the winter, would Leominster and Fitchburg be put in the same pod together? And indeed they were here in Pod 6. And here's the first of the basketball matchups tonight. Over at the Doug Grudgefield Fieldhouse in Fitchburg, the Leominster and Fitchburg boys doing battle over there. We'll get updates throughout that matchup as well as the evening continues. In the meantime, we've got girls on center stage here at the gym at Leominster High School, and we've got a dandy of a matchup. Might be the best matchup between the two schools this year, and Bill Thomas for the Blue Devils and Red Raiders coming in. Aside from that one game differential in record, you've got two schools that are trending very much in the right direction.
Yeah, am I on over there?
Indeed you are.
Okay.
Hear you loud and clear.
We talked about what happens when schools match up back-to-back like that, and that's what happened, when Fitchburg and Oakmont had their second go-around last week. We didn't know if we were going to see two 4-0 schools, but both varsity girls basketball teams are playing very well. Fitchburg's being led by Tanila Council. I hope I got her name right.
Tanila, but you're close.
Tanila Council. She's averaging about 12 points, and she's only a sophomore, so she's taking up the slack in scoring, but she's right there, supported by Mia Carvins, a senior, the only senior on the team, and Mia Cavins. I knew I was going to do that. I asked her twice, too.
You'll get it right, Bill Thomas, don't worry.
I'm not going to do it a fourth time. I did it 3 times. Mia Cavins, but she's backing her up with a strong 7 points a game. But you look down the rest of the Fitchburg lineup, they have 3 or 4 girls that are chipping in 5. And that's really a sign of a well-rounded team, a balance, that you can't just concentrate on one scorer or one player. So we'll have to see how they spread the scoring balance around on Fitchburg's side. But I think you got to start with stopping those two girls. If you're Leominster Blue Devil defense, Tanila Council,
capital I,
and Mia Cavins both have to be stopped by the Leominster Blue Devils tonight to have a successful outcome.
Council and Cavins, a pair of C's for the Blue Devils to keep an eye on the offensive end of the floor for Fitchburg. And Kate, for the Blue Devils, hey, 4-0. You can't ask for a much better start to this COVID-modified 2021 season. But Coach Rusty Frederick's squad has seen moments where, maybe they've been playing just a little out of control, a little too chaotic, maybe trying to do a little too much with the basketball, and maybe Narragansett and Gardner just weren't developed enough to make them pay for it. Tonight, they're on even footing with this Red Raiders squad. The team that makes the most mistakes tonight is going to be in a lot of trouble if the other team could make them pay.
It's going to be very interesting to see, especially from Cudahy of Leominster, to see how she reacts. She's now a sophomore. She is one of the penultimate team leaders of this team, and she's put that burden on her own shoulders. Coach Fredericks has talked to us about it a few times throughout the course of the season. She's taken on this leadership position both on the court and off the court. She is that calming influence in the locker room. And you have a situation where this is, on paper and from what we've seen in the past 2 weeks, a team that Leominster certainly is not going to be able to just look around or look beyond. This Pod 6 is not anything to blink at. And so Cudahy and obviously the very young Leominster Blue Devil Lady squad is going to have to, like you said, minimize the mistakes, especially turnovers. They're going to have to minimize as many of those mistakes as possible because you're going to have a very scrappy Fitchburg Red Raiders team out there, and they're going to try to take advantage of every mistake that you make.
For those of you that are tuning in via Facebook.com/Media Rivalry, nope, you don't have to adjust your clock. No, there was no daylight savings time. This game was moved up 30 minutes, and thus our broadcast on the air just a little bit earlier. So a 5:30 tip-off coming your way here on Facebook Live as the teams continue to warm up here inside the gym at Leominster High School.
I also forgot to mention sophomore Isabella Nevard as well as Cudahy on the Blue Devils side of the ball. Both of them taking on those leadership roles, so I didn't want to forget Isabella either. Sorry about that.
No question about that. And Bill Thomas, we talk about it all the time. When you get these two schools together, it really doesn't matter what the sporting event is. And I think, be it that everybody has been so repressed from rivalry basketball, this week and rivalry matchups, I really do believe we've got a chance to see something special tonight and then again on Thursday.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more, Todd. The two boys and two girls matching up, in the same week, back to back. These two schools haven't had a competitive contest since last February. If I was to go back and look, I'm guessing they probably played a boys basketball game and a girls game sometime beginning of February, but let's even January. Could have been 12 months. I didn't check the calendar, but there was no spring sports. There was no fall sports. And, the winter is late in starting. So I think these two schools are chomping at the bit to get at each other. And I think this only is a foreshadowing of what we're going to see later in the week on the rematches once each school has seen each other once.
And Kate, we always talk about the importance and the need for, of course, in order for a rivalry to work and for there to even be a rivalry week here on RFM, there has to be a rival. There has to be, two rivals that are there, that are providing that opposition for one another. And of course, here they are tonight. They've taken the floor.
Well, I want to piggyback off of something that Billy had mentioned. We're emphasizing this 1 year layoff in the rivalry. And a lot of people are probably like, yeah, but it's not football yet. You have to remember, back in the I believe it was the 20s, it was a basketball game between Leominster and Fitchburg that ended up ending in a fist fight that ended up in canceling the Leominster-Fitchburg football game later on in that year.
It's a fantastic story.
So please do not underestimate the rivalry on the hard court because it has ramifications in other sports as well. And so when we talk about this rivalry in any sport, we've talked about it in ice hockey, you talk about it on the basketball court, you talk about it on the baseball field, you talk about it anywhere these two teams get together, there is the possibility of fireworks and not just, the kind that are in the sky. And so you have to make sure that you understand that it is this, having played in this rivalry, there is a heightened level of anxiety throughout the entire day that when a member of the Blue Devils team looks across the court and sees that brick red, they get amped up, and vice versa. When that brick red of Fitchburg High School takes a look at that royal blue on the other side, they get amped up. So you have to understand, it's going to be very interesting to see that heightened level of anxiety, that heightened level of emotion, to see just how much they can execute, especially foundational basketball.
And certainly it's like starting all over again from a standpoint of anxiety, as this is the first time these two teams have been asked to match up with a lot of young players in key and crucial positions. And it's a first opportunity for them to really square off in this matchup tonight. And Bill Thomas, they talk about keeping your powder dry. That's the old cliche, right? The powder is arid, to say the least, in this rivalry. We need only strike a match tonight, which may put the ball in play.
There's plenty of dry powder hanging around. It's just a matter of who's going to strike the first match and who's going to light the biggest fire, I think. And but both schools are going to come to play. I miss the energy that we're used to having with the crowd.
Certainly.
But I have a feeling the two teams are going to generate their own energy. We're not going to be lacking for excitement. We're just not going to be surrounded by the throngs that we're used to having, looking over our shoulder and playing crowd control in front of us. But nonetheless, we're going to have a great matchup tonight.
No, I think that's a great point, Bill Thomas. And of course, we welcome our viewers joining us in Fitchburg tonight via Discussing Fitchburg Now and a host of other sources. And we say welcome to you as well as our Leominster faithful fans that join us throughout the season as well. And we can only say a very good evening. And of course, we will do our level best. We recognize just how difficult it is for parents to be in this circumstance this year, not be able to be in the building, siblings, teammates, friends, colleagues of all stripes, to not be able to be here in the building to support these young ladies tonight, and of course the young gentlemen on Thursday in a battle of basketball here between these two schools. We're going to do our level best over the next few hours to make it feel like you are here inside the gym at Leominster High School and are able to be a part of this rivalry. So much more to come. We've got tip-off. We'll meet the starting lineups. Great part, of course, about being inside the building all together in one general kind of maneuver here is that we'll meet everybody as part of the broadcast. So we'll have those introductions coming up for you, as well as the national anthem and the ball put in play. All of that coming up in a matter of moments. 5:30 is the official listed tip time, so just about 2 minutes from now, we'll get the signal for the introduction of Fitchburg and Leominster starting lineups, followed by the national anthem, and then the ball put in play for the first time in this rivalry in basketball in 2021, in almost 1 year's time. We're looking forward to it. Call your friends, facebook.com/media rivalry. So many ways to be a part of it and so many great ways to join us, as well as we welcome our viewers joining us via Leominster TV across the Leominster region on Comcast and Verizon, as well as our viewers joining us on Comcast and Verizon's government channel over in the city of Fitchburg today as well. We say a very good evening to all of you out there as you join us here inside the gym at Leominster High School. For Fitchburg and Leominster, girls basketball takes center stage with first ball action as the ball gets put into play in a matter of moments. Stay with us. This is RFM. And as we get set here inside the gym at Leominster High School, as we promised, introduction of the starting lineups for Fitchburg and Leominster coming up here inside the gym, and then the national anthem followed by the first possession of this matchup between these two schools as this storied rivalry is rekindled here on the hardwood here tonight.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome inside the gym at Leominster High School. As tonight, the Leominster High School Blue Devils play host to the Fitchburg High School Red Raiders as part of Rivalry Week 2021. We start first with the starting lineups for the visitors from Fitchburg. A sophomore, number 4, Tanila Council. A junior, number 11, Oliva Smith. A sophomore, number 25, Jen Allen. A senior, number 33, Mia Cavins. And a junior, number 35, Naiva Graham. The Red Raiders are coached by Paul DiGeronimo, assisted by Brian Baxter, Rebecca Fluid, and Todd Shattuck. And now time to meet the home Blue Devils of Leominster. A guard and sophomore, number 4, Isabella Needham. At guard, a sophomore, number 12, Kylie Cudahy. At center, a junior, number 15, Ava McDonald. At forward, a freshman, number 25, Kyra Forsberg. And a freshman, forward, number 44, Juliana Pompey. The Blue Devils are coached by Rusty Frederick, assisted by Megan McNiff. Will you all please join me in rising for the playing of our national anthem.
And as promised, you can feel the energy inside the building as anytime these two schools get together, there is an energy onto themselves. And so Rivalry Week commences here with Fitchburg and Leominster girls inside the gym at Leominster High School. In tandem, of course, going on over the Doug Grudgefield Fieldhouse in Fitchburg. Rivalry Week commences on the hardwood with Leominster and Fitchburg boys as well. So a battle to come here inside the gym at Leominster High School. Happy to have you along with us. If you're just joining us, as I said moments ago, don't adjust your clocks. This is starting 30 minutes earlier than originally expected. But it is great to have everybody with us. You're, of course, about to get a heaping helping of supper and a heaping helping of Leominster Fitchburg basketball here inside the gym at Leominster High School tonight. And we're looking forward to seeing where this one develops. This is the one that over the last few weeks people have been seeing starting to form up. Talked to Sean Sweeney of the Bay State Soccer Sentinel, and of course the one thing that he said to me was just how crisp, just how well this Fitchburg girls team had been playing in the games that he had the opportunity to cover. We're looking forward to seeing that matched up against the 4-0 Blue Devil team that we've been chronicling through this 2021 season. The Red Raiders won the toss. They open with the basketball, and they go right to left here in the first half of action. Red Raiders wearing the brick red tops, red bottoms, trimmed in gray and black. Gray numerals front and back. Fitchburg high across the numbers on the front of the chest. Shot initially missed off the mark there for Graham. And the Blue Devils will outlet in transition. Back down floor, Nevard, the little mid-range. Too strong, and the rebound ripped down there for Cavins.
In the early going here, Leominster playing man-to-man.
This is Graham working on McDonald. Backs her down. The turnaround shot caught the backside of the rim and will not go. Leominster will step on the gas in transition with Cudahy. Throws up a wild shot, and Graham's got an uncontested rebound.
Every single offensive possession ending in one shot with the opposing team bringing down the rebound on the glass. Somebody's got to settle down.
Smith looks to float the post for Graham, working on McDonald. It gets tipped back out to the corner. Red Raiders will try to balance the floor here, 10 to shoot. As Smith sets up a council three from the right side. Caught glass and then too strong. Rolled all the way back out to her, though she got her own rebound. Coach Rusty Frederick frustrated in his defense to this point, and then a 3-second violation called against the Red Raiders as a few different brick red jerseys had posted up shop, Bill Thomas.
I think everybody got careless there in that possession. It seemed to last for a couple of minutes, but I can't recall a 3-second call this season, but the officials are paying attention.
One of those cases where perhaps you get caught watching a little
exactly.
too much there on
a
the
lot
inside.
of standing around inside by the Red Raiders.
Cudahy swings for Nevard. Little head fake, splits the defense, missed everything, and ended up being an uncontested rebound for Graham once again. She finds herself in the right location on that left block. Leominster wearing the home white tops, white bottoms, trimmed in royal blue across the shoulders. Blue Devils framing in the numbers on the front of the jerseys. Got the running devil on the L on either side of the white shorts trimmed with royal blue.
Second turnover for the Red Raiders.
Forsberg drops baseline for McDonald. Back out to Forsberg. 3 from the left side. Will not go. And the rebound for Graham as she sets up shop on the right-hand block.
It's a 5th rebound for the Red Raiders thus far in this one. They do have 2 turnovers to Leominster's 0. Leominster right now 2 rebounds in the early going.
McDonald playing that center position against Graham is going to have to account for her on the offensive end of the floor. Foul called away from the ball. Remember, one of the modifications here for winter 2020, all offensive inbounds on the offensive end of the floor are foul line extended. And for the most part, we've been seeing here at the gym at Leominster High School, that means the near sideline, as this is by far the quieter sideline, given the checkerboard pattern of the benches and the official tables on the opposite end of the floor.
Speaking of the official table, we are still waiting to see who that first foul was billed on, but it is Leominster's first.
5.5 minutes remaining here in quarter number 1. Still no score. Shot away there will not go for Cavins. And then a deflection on the rebounding action.
They give that first foul for Leominster to McDonald, by the way.
Okay, so they did charge it to McDonald on the inside, and she certainly has been working on Graham, and you saw that forearm placed on her back, trying to do whatever she can, of course, to create some space there and let her know she's not moving freely on the inside. Red Raiders run a play along the baseline. Council cuts down the lane, caught the front rim, no, and Cudahy got herself a rebound.
3 minutes into this one and still no points on either side.
Pompey got the feed from Cudahy, and the turnaround shot was deflected out of bounds, and the ball will stay with Leominster. 5:04 to play here in quarter number 1.
And Cudahy guessed the wrong side of the court. She's going to have
First
to go
time they've
foul
done that
line.
to us.
Yeah, foul
we
line
just
extended.
mentioned it.
Go figure, right?
Yep, foul line extended all the way across the court.
Indeed
Poor
they
kid.
will. Cudahy will have the inbound.
Because she's not getting enough cardio out there. Now she's got to go to the other foul line extended.
Forsberg for Pompey, 15 to shoot on the possession. Nevard with the move baseline, got boxed out there on the low spot by Hecker. And it's a Red Raider rebound, and they've got the ball in transition.
Fitchburg's defense has been stifling in the paint. Leominster's still trying to figure out how to get the puck.
Council sets up Smith, who buries a 3 to open the scoring of this one halfway through the first quarter. 3-0 Red Raiders, 4:38 to play here in quarter 1.
Little press there on the inbounds. Red Raiders almost came up with the ball.
Leominster's going to pick up their second foul here.
The Red
this
Raiders
one.
do have the ball.
Yeah,
Turnover
indeed
there
they
on that
do.
inbounds. I thought it went off a Red Raider. My bad.
Chance for a 2-for-1 opportunity here for the Red Raiders if they can convert. It'd be quite a defensive start. This is Smith.
Kavin,
Through
great
Cavins.
court awareness out there to know where her teammates are, and she gets the look.
Yeah, got it back from straight away. No. Battle for the rebound was deflected and eventually ended up in the hands of McDonald, who steps on the gas. Up floor goes Leominster. Pompey swings. It's a wide open Smith. Smith slashes the lane, floats the shot. It rolled off the back of the rim, and the rebound for Hecker.
It's rebound number 7 for the Lady Red Raiders.
They have controlled the defensive
Yep.
boards.
Their
Yeah,
defense
Blue
has
Devils
been
are giving up the
tremendous.
lane there on the offense, not going for those offensive rebounds.
Oh, beautiful pass.
Council, yeah, with the
Yeah.
drive and
Oh.
kick. There's a foul on the shot. On the inside there, it was Allen to take the shot on the inside.
I think they're calling the foul on the floor, Todd. We'll have to see here. I saw him pointing at the floor.
Yeah, perhaps then that they
Yeah.
did
I
bill
think
it
it was
on.
a step early, but there was a foul there.
That'll be on Pompey. It's her first, team third for the Blue Devils.
Gonna have side out over here.
Yeah, they are. They're going to put the
Yeah.
inbound in right over here. Interesting choice
Gave that
there.
point to the floor right away. The official, the back's baseline official.
All right, there's the inbound for Cavins to Council. They play catch. Now the drive into the weed, shot up, count that basket, plus a foul for Mia Cavins.
Good job on the continuation right there. Threw it up, got the basket.
In theory, not a thing in high school basketball, Bill Thomas,
well,
but I agree with you.
Visually, it looked like a nice step and a half, let's say that.
Pompey's going to pick up her second. It's team fourth for the Lady Blue Devils here in the first half.
Nothing
That's going to send Cavins to the line.
Nothing easy about that continuation basket.
No question about it.
Well deserving.
Cavins converts 3 on that play, and it's a 6-0 run for the Red Raiders. 3:45 to play here in quarter one, and Leominster's knocked back on their heels.
They've not been able to figure out this defense. The Red Raiders doing a fabulous job.
And it's just an aggressive 2-3. Maybe a box and one. You can see they were looking to jump the lane there, and they couldn't. Forsberg ends up with it.
Oh.
And again,
right now,
Smith
Leominster
pressing
also
up front.
telegraphing their passing as well.
And in the lane, it's taken away again on the inside. That's Allen. Got great body position, great court awareness, makes the pick. Now goes for the payoff. Inside, feeds back out. Cavin, a wide open look for 3, and she hits. A 9-0 run for the Red Raiders. 3:05 left here in quarter one. Coach Rusty Frederick's going to be thinking about a timeout. Here's a potential another giveaway. As they come to the front court, there's a battle for the ball. It is held. Alternate possession favors Leominster.
Feels like there are hundreds of people in this gym right now. Feels like there are literally hundreds of people.
And one of the things that the Blue Devils are having trouble with is that press defense right from the inbounds. I don't think they've seen anything quite like that yet this year with that kind of pressure and that efficiency. And they're having trouble solving that. Inbounds are coming up court.
And Billy, you talk about it. This defense that Fitchburg has been giving is in your face and absolutely stifling. They are not giving the Blue Devils an inch, not a nanometer, in order to find space, especially in the paint. And they are just attacking every pass and every single ball.
And of course, this is what you likely could see on video with the Blue Devils through the first 2 weeks. Sure passes have not exactly been the norm. Here's a runner. It was good if it went. It got the front rim, but the rebound is down for Graham again, and it's Graham and then everybody else on the boards. Sets up a Cavins 3 again, and she buries it again. 12-0 Red Raider run to open the basketball game here on the Blue Devils' home floor. 2:23 to play here in the first quarter, and the Red Raiders are on fire. Coach Rusty Frederick will spend the time out here.
I think the Blue Devils are seeing some defense they haven't had to deal with, and especially that three-point line extended zone that the Blue Devils have been picking apart when they're playing against sagging defenses, but they're not used to that in-your-face defense and trying to force the ball, and there's nothing there. But the Red Raiders come out on fire defensively and offensively, controlling the boards on both ends of the court and hitting the three-pointers. I don't know what more you could ask for in the first 6 minutes of this game if you're a Red Raider.
And you're right, Bill Thomas, Coach DiGeronimo for the Fitchburg Red Raiders must be very pleased. You can see just how much effort and energy they've been placing in their defense, and they have the added bonus of having Cavins on the offensive end, who's a sharpshooter from the perimeter. And so when you have that balance, when you have that mix, you can focus so mightily on that defense, and you can see all of the Fitchburg Red Raiders, especially around that three-point arc, the periphery, looking to find Cavins. They are looking to see where she is. They're trying to distribute the ball to her.
And I think what we've seen up to this point is a lot of lazy defense. We're not seeing lazy defense tonight, and I'm not sure the Blue Devils are ready for it.
Not yet. It's very early.
But adjustments will come. Adjustments will come.
When you
Well,
go down 12-0,
we'll see.
it's a tough start in the basketball
And Bill
game.
Thomas, that's going to be the hallmark. What adjustments can the Blue Devils make? Because it's still incredibly early. All is not lost. Now it's about in-game adjustments, and the maturation process needs to happen instantaneously. You have freshmen and sophomores out on the court, and now they know, okay, this is a ball game. We got to perform.
Nevard from the left block missed everything, tipped by McDonald, and the ball's going back to the Red Raiders. Another one-shot possession, another scoreless possession for the blue and white.
They'll get it. Again, we've talked about the youth. We've talked about the youthful exuberance, and we're going to have to see that maturation process. And what right now, Rusty Fredericks is having to have that happen instantaneously, and he's going to have to really, really lean on Isabella Nevard and Kylie Cudahy.
And Bill Thomas, Coach Rusty Frederick, brings in Sabina Marwa. You were talking to me about her before the game.
Surprisingly, she's the leading team scorer according to the Telegram, averaging 8 a game, and she's scrappy, and she does find her way to the basket a lot of times on rebounds. She has a way about her, and she's very aggressive. have to see if she can bring some energy to this offense.
Hecker hit the turnaround too for the Red Raiders. Now it's 14-0 goes the run. 90 seconds left here in the first quarter, and Leominster finally responds with a mid-range jumper from Shannon Smith, 14-2.
And that's a nice job by the Leominster's offense to wait for something to develop. They're not getting multiple shots on their offensive possessions because of the phenomenal rebounding.
Council banks in a three. You know everything's coming up red and gray when you can kiss it from that angle and get the three to fall. Oh my. 1:10 to play here in the first quarter. Red Raiders with a 17-2 opening run here in the first quarter. Red Raiders get the basketball back, put it in play, and away they go once again. Blue Devils turn it over in transition. Council, the drive and kick. First touch for Negron. Negron, the right-hand drive, lost the handle, and was falling down before she got the pass away to Graham. Walk called, and the ball will go to Leominster. Probably the first unforced error we've seen from the Red Raiders here in the first quarter.
They've been doing a very good job of taking care of the basketball.
3 turnovers so far in the early going for Fitchburg, 2 for Leominster.
The runner for Cudahy scraped the front rim, rebound for Graham, back down floor they go.
That's rebound number 9 for the Red Raiders.
And the hard drive to the basket there for Council, and Cudahy will reach out and grab and get called for the foul.
That's going to be her first. It's going to be team 5th for the Blue Devils.
Quick note, fouls. Blue Devils 5, Red Raiders 0.
Correct.
That's going to come back to haunt them too.
And it's really been possessions, Bill Thomas.
Yeah.
It certainly hasn't been foul shots or anything of that nature that's adding up. It's just the extra possessions.
There's been one foul shot.
It's going to compound the situation.
And it was a completed one on a
completed
3-point play.
By Cavins, there she is.
And there she was again. That one too strong, and the rebound run down by Allen.
What effort.
Under 30 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Council, the runner. Count that basket, and a foul.
When it rains, it pours.
How about a 19-2 opening run for Coach Paul DiGeronimo's squad on the road tonight?
That's going to be Pompey's 3rd foul. It's going to be team 6 for the Lady Blue Devils here in the first half.
And from here on in, entire second quarter.
Oh, I don't think we'll see her.
Yep.
Yeah, they're going to need to.
Yeah.
So Pompey is going to check out, and you are right,
Yeah,
Bill
so
Thomas.
3 fouls already.
The rest of the way, Fitchburg's got foul shots they're entitled to. All the way to the theoretical halftime as Council not able to get that one to go. Now there's a battle for the ball, and she ran it down, kept alive on the sideline. Last touch by a Red Raider, and the ball will go back to Leominster, and Council, I think, landed on top of the basketball. Coach Rusty Frederick is right there, as is the trainer. Coaching staff now up to check on her as well. What hustle from Council, and you can see she lays it all out on the line as they will check on her over on the far corner. 23 and 4/10 seconds left here in quarter number 1. A 19-2 opening run for the Red Raiders. And Council,
she's good.
Nope.
Good to see her pop up like that.
Indeed.
I don't know that she'll be coming right back, though. The trainer was taking things out very quickly. But for those that are watching that are parents or family or friends, she is up on her own power. She got off to the bench on her own power. Looks like an ice pack coming out immediately, but we're back to action.
Indeed we are. We'll get an update on Council as the first half progresses. This is Smith. Deflected basketball back to Nevard. Now Cudahy. Shot clock off. 12 seconds left here in quarter number 1. Leominster would like to just have some points. The ball driven baseline for Marwa. Back to Cudahy, 4 seconds to play in the quarter. Now Nevard from straight away, and there will be no shot at the end of the first quarter. And that is the exclamation point for just how difficult things have been for Coach Rusty Frederick's squad in the first quarter.
Didn't you just want to yell out there, you got to shoot it? I was under my breath. You might have heard me. Got to shoot it.
19-2 first quarter run. All Red Raiders in quarter number 1.
Yeah,
what dominance, Bill Thomas.
They definitely came off the bus and ready to play, and not to say that the Blue Devils weren't ready to play, but they're being out-hustled, outplayed, out-rebounded, pretty much every aspect of the game that first quarter up to basically the entire first quarter, not up to any point. The entire first quarter belonged to the Fitchburg Red Raiders.
And this is always the risk, Bill Thomas, when you have the way this season has gone, the geographical layout and everything else, and Leominster and Fitchburg schedules have been kind of the inverse. The Red Raiders, in their first 4 games, have played Oakmont and Quabbin, from a basketball tradition to perennial basketball schools here in north central Massachusetts. Meanwhile, Leominster has gone in the reverse. They've had Gardner and Narragansett, good basketball traditions, struggling this year. And so if you had to look at it, 4-0, 3-1, Fitchburg's had the tougher road. Leominster's got that road from here to the end of this 5-week season.
Right, there was no commonality in the schedule to start the season. Fitchburg played the other 2 opponents, and Leominster played the 6-team pod. But we weren't really sure what Leominster had, but Fitchburg showed its strength through what appears to be the iron of the schedule, and we'll have to see, how. We gotta play out the rest of this game. Let's not sell the Blue Devils short. We know they can score. They can score in bunches, and coaches over there doing a lot of coaching. So once again, when something like this happens, we talk about quarters. Let's break the game down. I'm sure that's what they're talking about.
The old Mike Tyson line, Bill Thomas. Everybody's got a plan, and everything's great until you get punched in the face. And that's the way this first quarter will be billed. A 19-2 opening run, Kate. Aside from the obvious on the scoreboard and the fact that I think you're going to tell me Mia Cavins leads all scorers, other than that, what stands out to you?
I don't have anything else to say. That's the story. You guys have taken everything that I needed to talk about. I'm an open book today.
And the Red Raiders control the basketball to start this second quarter. Remember, 2.5-minute breaks between the quarters. Same at the theoretical halftime. There will just be a 2.5-minute mask break, and then it's right back to basketball.
No mask break for Todd, though.
That's right. Marwah with the jumper, scraped the front rim, battle for the ball. McDonald came out with it, and McDonald feels awfully lonely on the floor.
Blue Devils standing around just watching her fight for that ball. She had possession of it. Looks like Blue Devils have the arrow.
Yeah, alternate possession favors Leominster. At the break in the action, we did have a substitution in play. Again, because the JV game playing second tonight, there are 3 officials. They will rotate at the breaks and alternate who is on and who is off. So new official on the floor, standing in the trail position as we begin this second quarter. Cudahy shot short of the mark, the rebound for Smith. Then Nevard, the runner, also short of the mark, and this time it's rebounded by Allen.
We do want to make mention that counsel for the Fitchburg Red Raiders is back in the game. She's running point right now, so she is well for those family members and friends watching. She's back on the court.
Launched up a shot, got the front rim. Graham got the rebound, shot up and will not fall, and McDonald the rebound.
Blue Devils doing a lot of standing around and watching there.
I would say the one note, Bill Thomas, of a positive on their first offensive possession of this quarter, although it didn't yield any points, they got 2 shots.
They did get their. I think that's their first offensive rebound. So I know we don't track them that much, but that was my thought.
Cross court giveaway, McDonald right into the hands of Cavan, and here we go the other way. This is Council. Back for Cavins, they play catch. Council thought about it instead. Nice feed to the post. Graham up strong, draws the foul. Graham's got 2 shots coming.
I will tell you what, I want counsel distributing the ball to me every single time. It's poetry.
That was a pretty bounce pass right there, and that's the key to success. When you can master that kind of pass, you're going to get a lot of assists and set your teammates up in good position.
The ability to time when to hold the ball, wait for the defensive blow by, and then the drop in to the post. Great maneuver there for Council, and Graham rattles that one home to send the Red Raiders over the 20 mark. 6:24 left here in the second quarter. Their lead is 18. Leominster will take their rebounding spots. Red Raiders will step in. And Graham's shot is away. Too strong off glass, battle for the rebound. Nevard dribbles to Marwah, and Leominster's got it in transition. Left to right they go. Marwah splits the defense, short of the intended target. Rebound going back the other way. Back to the top of the key, this is Smith. Swing, Council, 3. That one caught the corner of the support, dropped down to Tresaloni, seeing her first action tonight. Feeds Marwah. Marwah's shot is up. Draws a foul. Marwah's got 2 coming from the line.
Marwah bringing that aggressiveness that we expect from her to the game. She's I noticed on the offensive rebound, she's one of the few Blue Devils that are crashing the boards looking for that offensive rebound, and right away, taking charge right there, driving the lane.
Marwa holds the toes glued to that foul stripe, held the line and got the free throw to go, and Leominster has their just third point. 5:56 to play here in the second quarter. They are chasing 17.
Chip away, that's all they got to do, chip away. Still a lot of basketball.
And now chasing 16. And away we go.
And I'm sure Coach DiGeronimo is going to keep reminding his girls that too. There's a lot of basketball to play.
Cavins, 3, off mark. Battle for the rebound. Nevard kept it alive. Lost it on the baseline. Red Raiders will get it back.
Good hustle right there. Just come down right on the line, chasing it.
The officials will set that one up. And again, foul line extended on the offensive end. 5:45 to play here in the second quarter. The inbound, Tressaloni got a handle on it, but Graham spun away, got a 3 away. Battle for the rebound, Marwa first touch, but coming over the top was Cavins. Now a battle. There was a whistle and a timeout taken on the floor.
Timeout must have been by the Red Raiders.
Yeah, it looks like they had the last possession that we could tell. 5:36 left here in the second quarter. 20-4 is the lead for Fitchburg here in quarter number 2. Great to have you along with us wherever you're joining us from, whether it's in Leominster, Fitchburg, the surrounding region. We've got some fantastic fans joining us from all across Worcester County. It's great to have you joining us and along with us here for this fantastic basketball game tonight. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, happy to have you along with us. So many ways to watch this one, of course, in Premiere, facebook.com/Media Rivalry. That's where you find yourself right now, and the game will be available same evening on demand via YouTube. You can search Rivalry Family Media, like, subscribe, and follow today. Anytime we post something up on YouTube, you'll get a notification. So that's YouTube, search Rivalry Family Media for that, or directly tinyurl.com/Media Rivalry. For scheduled updates, like when this game got moved from 6 o'clock to 5:30, the place to find that information is out on Twitter. Follow @Media Rivalry for more information, as well as a smattering and gathering of all of the great headlines out there. It's one of the great parts of being a part of Central Massachusetts and Massachusetts high school media in general. Do a great job of sharing information and articles back and forth with one another. Just got a great text message from Sean Sweeney, Bay State Soccer Sentinel, and he is absolutely right on the money with his analysis, Bill Thomas, about how crisp this Fitchburg team is. They are just polished, and you can see from his reaction, he's over the moon that he paid off, of course, that analysis right off the top.
Yeah, you know, he's a great fan. We know how much he loves soccer, but he's following these basketball games intently. And thanks for checking in with us, Sean. We appreciate it.
Up floor, Cudahy's shot, wide of the mark, down with the rebound for Allen. 5 minutes remaining here in the second quarter, 16-point Red Raider lead. The foul line feed, it got tipped inside, makes its way back out into the hands of Smith. Now Council flashes, goes right back to Cavins. Changes position, Smith. Then Council, touching to the post. It was tipped off of Allen, and on the inside, Marwa comes away with it. Marwa gets it back, tries to force a pass. It got deflected. Somehow she got the ball back. Created some room, right elbow jumper, no, and the rebound down for Cavins.
Once again, just one shot on the offensive end for the Blue Devils.
Bounce it inside. Jumper Graham had some space from just a step in front of the foul line, and that one won't go. Tressaloni the rebound. And Tressaloni's pass, picked there by Cavins. Up floor finds Smith. Cudahy tries to set up for the charge, and the soft touch at the rim. Lay it in and good for Avila Smith. Nevard comes back down floor, takes the bump on the inside from Graham, and couldn't convert the shot in transition. Smith will transition to safety and find an open spot out on the floor. Under 4 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Here's the drive. Council the runner over the front rim is good.
Everything going right for the Red Raiders right now, offensively and defensively.
With Leominster this far back on their heels, I know we've talked about the need, of course, to try to figure something out in just a 2.5-minute stop at halftime. I don't know that that's enough time in order to right the ship over the one time you really get to install any kind of adjustments, typically, on a normal season. As Marwa gets fouled.
By Cavins.
Yeah,
Cavins
typically,
picks up her first. It's team second for the Red
Todd,
Raiders.
you're right, though. Typically, you'd go in the locker room, do a little diagram.
Forget this entire first half ever happened.
You have a little more time to talk about it. Now you just, like you say, taking a mass break, no adjustments to speak of. Just got to try to adjust on the fly.
Well, this becomes the situation that you often think about. How short is your memory? And in this case, you want your memory to be non-existent because you absolutely need to brush off what has been going on in order to make adjustment. It's not massive adjustments that need to be made. There are some adjustments, and they got to figure out this Fitchburg defense.
Nevar dribbles baseline.
I think one thing.
3 in the key called, and the ball will go back to Leominster. So we've now checked those off. Yeah, we've evened those scores up.
Those boxes, but
my goodness.
Ball to Fitchburg.
You know, I think the most important thing is that we'll have to see how Leominster deals with being on the opposite side of a game like that.
Smith, smooth with the 3. 27-4 is the Red Raider opening run. 3 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Can we really call it an opening run at this point?
A continuation.
Oh my gosh, an ongoing run, unlike anything I've seen before. Swing over into the corner. The driving kick, Forsberg for Nevard. Short on the front rim. Battle for the rebound. Tipped loose into the hands of Council. And back down floor comes Council for Graham. Had the room for the 3, took it. Rebound, Forsberg. And then Forsberg throws an ill-advised pass. Ends up in a tie-up with Council and Cudahy on the alternate possession. The ball back to the Red Raiders. What a hustle play by Council.
Yep, stepped right in the passing lane there, anticipated it, and
And they've switched the arrow back the other way. So Leominster will get the basketball on the alternate possession. Doesn't undo the hustle play, Bill Thomas.
It does not.
Boulay swings back top of the key. Cudahy looks down low. Pompey, turnaround float, off the mark. 2:18 to play here in the second quarter, 27-4. And Bill Thomas, I mean, the eyes do not deceive.
Nope.
What you're looking at here is teams in very different positions. And we've talked about it over the first couple of weeks. As to the floor goes Negron, she's called for the walk. But you are looking at a polished basketball team in the Red Raiders. And in Leominster, you're looking at a team right now that's trying to rely on speed and athleticism, and it's just not paying off.
Well, a team that's kind of in disarray from a team aspect right now. I see a lot of one-on-ones and people just randomly driving the lane when they get in the offensive zone. We'll have to see if the Blue Devils can get together, but it's this three-point line extended defense. It's disrupting everything.
Council with the pick again. She's able to run it down. 3-on-2 and pulls back the reins to set up the half-court offense.
Once again, three-point line extended defense working to perfection.
Yeah, launches that one looking inside to find Jen Allen, and that was long of the mark. And of course, this is a great opportunity to mention, of course, out on the floor, and I've been waiting for this opportunity. George and Nancy Allen reached out to us today to mention this. Not often you see this, but you have family on opposite side of the rivalry tonight. Hatfields and McCoys ask. You have Jen Allen, the sophomore from Fitchburg. You have Taylor Boulay, the freshman from Leominster. They are cousins, Kate.
First cousins
How
out
about
there
that?
for Fitchburg and for Leominster, so that's a lot of fun. And right on time.
And Boulay with the scraper gets that one to fall.
It's like she heard her name out there. One of the things I want to make sure that we mention as well, we continue to need to remember how young this Leominster team is. Okay?
As Cavins adds another 3 to the board.
We have to remember that with regard to this geographical matchup, you cannot discount the fact that this is a seasoned veteran Fitchburg team, and this is a very young Leominster Blue Devils varsity team.
Leominster misses the initial shot, but a nice job by Boulay to keep it alive. She shoveled it inside to Pompey, who finished the jumper from the lane. Inside, bounce. That one won't go for Stone, seeing some of her first action. And a deflection in transition for Pompey, and then over for Nevard. Nevard Out of control, but takes the shot, draws the contact, finishes the basket, and she's got one coming from the line.
Nevi taking charge right here. It's good to see somebody stepping up and, getting this under 20 going into the halftime break, I think would be an accomplishment.
Shot clock will be off the rest of the way. 29 and 2/10 seconds left here in the second quarter. Fitchburg's lead is 30-10, plus 20 as Bill Thomas was noting. On the possession, it favors the Red Raiders. Chance for maybe one and a half more possessions as we head toward halftime.
The most important note about that last final, though, for Fitchburg is that is Cavan's second.
And that will be something of note to keep an eye on into the second half. Free throw missed by Nevard. Second opportunity, McDonald didn't go. And then a tie-up. Council tied up with McDonald. Alternate possession. Basketball to the Red Raiders. 22 and 4/10 seconds left here.
Coach would like something.
Yeah, Coach Paul DiGeronimo trying to get the right personnel out on the floor. I think
he wants to talk to the official. He'd like something, I think.
Oh, he's looking
I think he wanted the inbound on his side.
Yeah, on his side of the lane. I think you're right. This is Graham for Council. 10 seconds left here in the second quarter.
And that's a testament to Coach DiGeronimo. Up by 20, and you are all over the official. I want the ball over here.
Boulay tips it up floor. 3 seconds until halftime. Lost the handle, did Smith, and then Smith in the other direction will run the ball out. You had Smith on Smith. Defensive action there. And that is where we reach the end of the second quarter. If you had 30-10 at halftime in either way, you were much better at analyzing this basketball game than I was.
I don't recall the halftime score, but did the Blue Devils win the second quarter? I don't remember the first quarter score.
Kate will have the answer for us.
It was 19-2.
No.
11-8, almost. But
Yes.
nice, I tell you. Blue Devils got it together a little better in that second quarter, a lot more aggressiveness on the rebounding action, and some of the girls taking charge, but MIAA, I think, gave the Blue Devils a spark towards the end of that first quarter. Came in right away, was crashing the boards, and I think that was the key to a little bit of an energetic turnaround right there in the second quarter for the Blue Devils.
And Kate pointed to it, Bill Thomas. Leominster's youth right now is being exposed for the first time this season. It's just teams that are playing in two different speeds, two very different speeds, two very different qualities, but Coach Paul DiGeronimo's group, particularly with his junior and senior leadership, this has been an ongoing developing process you're seeing come to fruition here tonight.
I can't get over how much improvement over last season.
Oh, absolutely. You're seeing that come to fruition, and then Leominster in the other side of that situation.
Well, his girls have matured, and Leominster graduated out, and we see 2 freshmen, 2 sophomores in Leominster's starting lineup, and Fitchburg's lucky enough to have that anchor and Cavins as the senior captain, but the 2 juniors and 2 sophomores are both carrying the load right there, and they learned from last year, and they're implementing what they learned, and they're putting it to good use this year. Great job by the coaching staff and the girls to mature from last year to this year.
A 2.5-minute mask break, and I just watched the official in the Leominster huddle for over 60 seconds. This is the kind of stuff with a 2.5-minute halftime. There's no time for that.
I don't get the 2.5. I'm still a little bit of
It's all about getting people
perplexed.
in and out of the building, as we've been chronicling.
You're running
trying
over each other for 2 hours. Another 7.5 minutes. I understand the science of
I have been
limiting.
on this, Bill Thomas, with you from the start. I agree. If you're going to do it right.
We got a quick update from the Doug Rutschfield Fieldhouse on the campus of Fitchburg High School. The boys' game started at 6 p.m., so they are just 2 minutes into the first half. Leominster up 3-0 right now.
We might get to go over there and catch the end
I
of
was
that
going to
game.
say, you catch the second half of that basketball game with the early start here tonight inside the gym at Leominster High School. Great to have you with us. The other half of this varsity rivalry. What a battle thus far. And again, maybe not the game we expected off the start. A 30-10 first half or first 2 quarters for the Red Raiders in this basketball game. Be interesting to see what Leominster can come up with in the second half of action. As Kate, you take a look at your halftime scores. What stands out for your halftime update?
All right, let's take a look at statistics. Right now, free throw shooting is pretty good on both sides, 66%. 2 of 3 are the Red Raiders. Leominster 2 of 2, that's 100% right now. Scoring contributions for the Blue Devils from 5 different young ladies. And on the Fitchburg Red Raiders side of the ball, same thing. Fitchburg team totals 19 rebounds, 3 steals, only 6 turnovers. Leominster 14 rebounds, 1 steal, 8 turnovers.
As the second half, third quarter, commences here inside the gym at Leominster High School. The official clock has not activated here inside the building. So the ball is loose. There's been the first turnover. We're still at 8 minutes on the game clock. Meanwhile, Cavins pops up a 3 and it doesn't go, and then a ball out of bounds on the baseline.
Clock's going.
And the clock has commenced.
So I'm gonna put mine back up unless they move it. So the 30-second difference right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say they've got 6 seconds off the clock in general.
All right, I'll go back up to theirs.
Remember, our clock on the scoreboard here on screen as Forsberg loses the handle, carries it on the shoulder. That's a walk. Ball back to Fitchburg is unofficial. So the official clock here inside the building says 7:45 here in the third. It does happen sometimes where that Daktronic system does not activate.
I know that feeling.
Ball gets deflected out of bounds. It will stay with Fitchburg. As the Red Raiders go left to right here in quarter number 3, Leominster right to left, chasing 20.
We've got a Leominster Lady Blue Devil basketball alum watching.
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Fame basketball player. Lindsay Rocco, welcome.
3 away does not go for Smith. Those of you going, Rocco, Hall of Fame.
Delicky
I was going to say, that's Lindsay Delicky.
I know by a different name.
Shot clock violation called, and the ball will go back to Leominster.
Hall of
and you can
Fame.
see Leominster's defense trying to pick up the momentum a little bit there, Bill Thomas.
Yes, it's and I tell you, it's all about winning the possessions, winning the quarters, and just building some momentum. These girls will be playing each other again in 3 days.
Forsberg with the giveaway, picked there by Allen. Allen up floor for Council. And they'll reset the floor. Deflected on its way to Smith. Foul line for Graham. Back out Council. Wide open 3. Front rim, no roll. Rebound down for Allen. Dribbled out of trouble with a 1 bounce lay in is good.
That's a good putback right there. Get possession, get out of trouble, or go right back up.
Pompey for Cudahy. Cudahy goes back top of the key. This is Boulay. Boulay tries to force it inside. It got tipped. Battle on the floor, and out of trouble it comes. Council 1-on-2 down the floor. Throws up the wild runner. It will not go. Rebound down for Forsberg.
Talk about giving your all, playing with absolute reckless abandon. That's Council in a nutshell.
Bounce to the foul line. McDonald's jumper won't go. Pompey's putback negative, and the rebound down for Cavins. 2 minutes gone by here in the third quarter, 32-10. Blue Devils stuck at 10.
Oh.
And a walk called on Smith. She put it down once and then hesitated with the pivot foot. Ball will go
Get away
back.
with that in the NBA.
That's right. Ball will go back to Leominster.
But not in the MIAA.
No, that's right. Pompey out, Nevard back in, Shannon Smith back in for the Blue Devils as well. Spelling Boulay.
Coach Frederick's doing a nice job for the Blue Devils, trying to move the puzzle pieces around, make sure that you've got fresh legs out there. Because, like you talked about it, Leominster relying pretty heavily on their speed, especially in transition, and trying to really figure out this stifling Fitchburg defense.
Shot is short. It was a line drive from Smith, straight out of bounds. Ball back to Fitchburg.
It's a
Once
fourth
again,
turnover for Leominster in the half.
Leominster struggling on the offensive end here with that defense in their face.
Finger whistles and substitutions galore on the Red Raiders side of the ball.
I do love how enamored you are by that.
The fact that you can hold something and get the same sound effect. I mean, you can get your cell phone to sound like a whip, so why should I be surprised they could come up with a device that you could push a button and it would whistle? Bounding ball down the floor into a pack, kept alive by Graham. Graham up for Brito, long of Hecker, out of bounds, and back to Leominster goes the basketball. And Council, long enough to sanitize, sip of water, sanitize, and right back into the basketball again.
Quick breather.
That is COVID basketball at its finest. Nevard works the give and go with Marwa. In the post, scoop shot, got it on the rim. Rebound down for Cavins, creates a little space with the body, and she will outlet for Council. Back down floor, it's Hecker through Smith. Back top of the key, now the bounce pass. Turn around for Graham. Comes to the near side. Now drives the lane, Cavin. And the block called on Marwa as she gets run over in the process. Marwa's feet were moving. That's always the kind of the catch-22 on the block charge call. If you're in the process of moving and you're not planted, set, and square, then you are blocking by rule.
Oh, I had no problem with that.
Deflection on the inbound as McDonald will knock it down and away from Council. Now in transition, Cudahy look for the give and go with Smith. It got tipped. It will stay with Leominster. 4:55 to play here in the third quarter. 32-10, the Red Raider lead. And Ilka Negron will check back into the basketball game.
It's like a hockey game here, the way Fitchburg's running the bench in and out, keeping everybody fresh.
They've got bodies.
Indeed they do, and they're making great use of them. Coach Paul DiGeronimo and staff doing a nice job of circulating the personnel. Inside, Marwa the giveaway, right to Allen, who will outlet for Smith. Smith on the giddy-up, bounces it to the near side. This is a Council three, front rim no. McDonald the battle for the rebound. Hecker kept it alive and then finds Cavins, who takes the shot, got fouled behind the play. 2 shots at the line for Cavins.
Big hustle play right there. Keep that ball alive, leading to these foul shots.
That's going to be McDonald's third. It's going to be team second for the Blue Devils in the second half. Update from Fitchburg right now with 1 minute to go in the first. 16-13 Fitchburg on top of Leominster right now in the boys game.
And Cavins at the line. It's the first.
Cavins with 13 points right now.
Conversation out on the floor relative to fouls, and of course you're going to find in any circumstance like this, one coach is going to see things one way and one's going to see it another. Council's first shot will go, as will the second. 34-10.
It just keeps building. The Blue Devils have not scored here in this third quarter.
Cavins has poise, lots of poise.
The runner for Smith, short of the mark. Hecker the rebound. Hecker being swarmed, dribbles her way out of trouble and is able to find Negron.
Hecker making her presence felt here in this third quarter.
Back down floor, there's Negron. The shot wide of the mark. Battle on the baseline, kept alive by Allen. Bounced it for Hecker. Hecker rolls over and is called for the walk.
Oh, that's a tough call. That's a hustle call that
I'm going to boo. Boo.
yeah.
Boo.
Made a great effort, to say the least.
She didn't get called for a roll. Great hustle, though. Very timely, too. She's been, I think, the last 3 possessions, she's been in the middle of all of them.
Halfway through this third quarter, 34-10. Fitchburg's lead here at the gym at Leominster High School tonight. Pompey for Cudahy. And plays catch now with Smith. Into the corner. This is Tresoloni. Back top of the key for Cudahy. Back and forth they go. Now Smith, the drive, pushes it up on the rim. It won't go, and Cavins the rebound. And then the swarm. Alternate possession favors the Red Raiders. And Bill Thomas, I think you saw what I did, which is there is a feisty nature of these tie-ups that's going on out on the floor.
I felt that same thing right there, a little bit of elbow action. Officials quick to step in with the whistle, but kind of feeling a little bit of tension here.
Back down floor, Smith tried to force a pass, and Pompey swats it away. Fitchburg will keep the basketball. 25 to shoot on the possession.
Leominster doing a nice job keeping their energy up, especially on defense, doing a really nice job against this offensive attack from the Red Raiders. But as you guys mentioned, you can see the frustration starting to come to the surface for the Blue Devils.
Cavins inside tipped. Nevard's called coming over the back, and it's the forearm on the back of Hecker. It's not so much the play coming across the top. I might have also said she came across the arm, but it's that forearm lead on the inside the officials are calling.
That's going to be her second, team third of the second half.
And this will bring Boulay back into the basketball game. Spelling Cudahy. Straight line stack from the sideline. Council gets the inbound. And now the swing. And a walk called, and the ball back to Leominster. 3:20 to play here in the third. 34-10. The lead for Fitchburg has been commanding since the opening possession. Fouls continue in a lopsided manner. 3 fouls against Leominster to 0 called on Fitchburg in the second half. I believe Fitchburg, Kate, had 3 in the first half, roughly speaking.
They had 3, yes.
Indeed they did. Bounce pass to the inside. Pompey for Tressaloni, a 3, short of the mark. And a rebound for Council, wide open on the baseline. Leominster just not able to box out in either post, and it's making a difference in this game. Hecker gets the float from Smith, missed it from the tough angle. Putback won't go. Nevard the rebound, she out-jumped and kept it alive, working against Hecker. Boulay snaps a pass for Smith. Smith saw the room, drives down the lane, lay in and good. Leominster off the 10 they've been stuck at, now at 12, 34-12, 2.5 to play here in the third.
First points for the Lady Blue Devils here in the quarter.
Cavins for Council. Council the drive, scoop shot, rolls it up, and it will go.
Yeah, that was a pretty left-hand crossover right there, using a left hand under the basket.
Council up to 9 points.
Nevard takes the 2 steps and has to launch, short of the mark, but the rebound for Boulay. Drops it from Tressaloni, then to Smith. Smith the jumper from the wing, long of the mark, and the rebound down for Cavins. Final 2 minutes here of the third quarter. The bounce inside, short from Allen, and then a held ball. Bodies hit the floor as Hecker is battling Nevard, and the alternate possession favors Leominster.
Hecker just all over the court in this third quarter here. I think we've mentioned her name in every possession, offensively and defensively. Doing a great job with that, continuing the energy on the Fitchburg side of the ball.
Got a 1-point ball game in the boys' game over in Fitchburg at the Doug Grutch Fieldhouse. Start of the second quarter. Leominster up by 1, 19-18.
And Leominster will take the timeout here. 1:55 to play here in the third quarter. 36-12 is the lead right now for the Red Raiders. Coming up this week, Rivalry Week continues here on Rivalry Family Media. Great to have you a part of this one. We've got more great basketball action coming your way this Thursday. 6 o'clock, the tip-off. The boys come back here to the gym at Leominster High School. It will be Fitchburg and Leominster on the boys' side of basketball action. That game tips at 6. We'll be on the air 20 till the hour on Thursday. Looking forward to that action as well. And of course,
guys.
I know Kate will be on assignment on
AKA
Thursday.
parent-teacher conference night.
And so Billy and I will navigate our way through that one.
I'm not the parent, I'm the teacher.
That's right. Fact, as it turns out.
I have a full slate, Billy. We're doing virtual parent-teacher conferences. I don't have a breath to take in between.
I think this is a missed opportunity, though, to have live parent-teacher conferences while we
During
do
the
this.
game?
A chance to chat our way through this one.
Absolutely.
You know, just
Have them
posting the
check
message
in.
there.
There's
Absolutely.
nothing wrong with multitasking.
Opportunity missed. So happy to have you along with us.
One multitask, I probably couldn't. I don't think I could manage that one. That's a big one.
RFM Live here on Facebook. Game available on demand on YouTube. Like, follow, subscribe today out on YouTube. Rivalry Family Media is your search. Great to have you with us. If you're joining us via Leominster TV as well, Comcast and Verizon around the city of Leominster. I've been told our friends over in Fitchburg have not taken the action we thought they were going to have tonight, so look forward to that action at a subsequent time. As the pass is forced forward, deflected down through the hands of Cavins, and another turnover for the Blue Devils. This is Council with Cavins. Final 90 seconds of the third quarter. Hecker walked with it. Ball will go back to Leominster. And hey, we said this right off the top of the broadcast. There's no question that throughout the first couple of weeks of the season, Leominster was able to get away with some mistakes. A sloppy pass here, or maybe not boxing out or keeping the play alive. And they knew tonight they were coming in and taking on a Red Raider team that would make them pay for their mistakes. Bill Thomas, they are paying tenfold for mistakes tonight.
They are, but in addition to mistakes, I think their outside shooting has let them down tonight, Todd. I'm not sure they have a three-pointer.
Leominster with the pick there.
Nope, they do not.
And they've been relying on that a lot. Their outside shooting has been carrying them, along with other aspects of the game. But if you can't loosen up the defense with some outside shooting, it makes the entire game incrementally harder.
Pompey to Boulay for the shot off the mark, and then a foul coming over half court. See, now when fouls are at 4-0, and they've been lopsided at one side, you can't call a hand check on one side of the floor and tell me you couldn't find a hand check on the other side of the floor. That just, to me, that's one of those things. 1:05 left here in the third quarter, 36-12. Fouls 4-0. That was Smith stepping across the sideline on the pass. Now Graham. Back to Smith, wide open from the right side. Won't go, and McDonald's got herself a rebound.
Well, one of the things you mentioned about, potential, obviously, some mistakes are being made, but you have to realize just how crisp Fitchburg has been playing tonight. They're not fouling, okay? They have almost every single rebound imaginable. Their perimeter shooting's been fantastic.
Marawa, the jumper from that sweet spot on the left block, gets that one to go.
And so although I agree, yes, that mistakes are going to be something to talk about. This hasn't been a mistake-laden game. This isn't, Leominster beating itself in this instance. This is them running into the freight train that is Fitchburg Red Raider basketball right now.
Shot off the mark there, and the rebound pulled down. Cavins will make the tip and Pickett going the other way. Final 10 seconds of the third quarter. Coach DiGeronimo tries to get it up floor, finds Smith. Shot away, will not go, and Marwa ties up Allen to conclude third quarter action. 36-14, Fitchburg's lead through three quarters here inside the gym at Leominster High School as we reach the final 2.5 minutes of mask break time in this one. Coming up post-game, JV game on the backside of us. So we're going to do our level best to try to get an interview set up here on both sides with Coach Paul DiGeronimo from Fitchburg as well as Rusty Frederick from Leominster. We'll have that for you post-game here on Rivalry Family Media. Stay tuned for that. We'll figure out some way, Bill Thomas, to make sure that they can hear us as we get set for action. If I have to
give up my headset, I will. I'll do what I got to do. Take one for the team.
I appreciate that.
We'll fully sanitize.
I was going to say we're going to find some sanitizing wipes in the process.
Well, I got some spritz. I'll go out to the car. I got some alcohol. We'll make sure it's a safe interview, but we'll get the thoughts of both coaches, hopefully. I want to add a little bit that Kate had. It's not I don't think Leominster is not turning over prone and not playing that badly. It's really the one-shot possessions and the lack of outside shooting has been their downfall.
Yep.
And Fitchburg has taken every advantage of that. Rebounds on both ends of the court, offensively and defensively, and the one-shot possessions, no putbacks. I think you backed me up on the lack of three-point baskets tonight.
Yes, I did.
You talk about the perfect storm. They've all clashed together here on the Blue Devil side of the court.
Update from the Doug Grudgefield Fieldhouse in Fitchburg. Red Raiders on top of Blue Devils 25-21 with 3.5 left here in the first quarter over in the Doug Grudgefield Fieldhouse. So that's the update over there in first quarter action. You'll still have time at the conclusion of this one, even with the post-game interview. Catch the second half of that one. FATV's got that coverage.
So we do have a question coming in on the stream from former coach Tim Conway. No Wachusett, no Shrewsbury in this particular year because the pod is completely and solely geographically made. And so Todd has the matchups right here. It's Fitchburg, Gardner, Leominster, Oakmont, Narragansett, and Quabbin. And so those are the Pod 6 teams, and those are the only teams that are going to be playing each other in this truncated season. So it's a 5-week-long season, and it's a home and home. So today, Leominster hosts the Fitchburg girls, and on Thursday, they'll swap. Fitchburg will host the Leominster girls. And so you get those two games in a particular week, and then you go on to the next opponent, and that's how Pod 6 is going to go. And then likely there'll be some type of a small pod playoff at the end of the 5-week-long season. Very different from what is normal. This is not Mid-Wachusett basketball.
No, not to say the least. But what I can say is early predictions for that Mid-Wach playoff. The Red Raiders keep playing like this. Look for them in that pod playoff to be one of those final 4 teams involved in that action.
Not that we know what's going to we have no idea. We haven't been told what the makeup of.
We assume it will look much the way the fall did.
The top
4 out of the 6 teams qualified and played a short. It was just over 2 days. You had the 2 semifinals. You had a final. End of that, you had a Pod 6 champion, and that was the way things were run. It was actually Pod 8 for the fall season that Leominster was involved in. Pod 6 here for the winter season.
Leominster.
By the way, when it comes to football, when it comes to baseball, softball, lacrosse, all those things, it could be pod pick a number.
Yep.
As the ADs and the committees will get together and will find a way to be able to sort things out. And again, those schools could be realigned again going forward. It's all about geography and what is most safe. Kevin tried to keep her foot in bounds, and her base came out from underneath her and tapped the sideline, ball back to the Blue Devils.
It's one of those interesting things. I think it's kind of neat having this geographical matchup because you have atypical matchups that you're seeing. Obviously, Fitchburg and Leominster is typical, but it's fun, on an off year and a weird year and a COVID year to have that.
We say it every broadcast.
Oh, do we?
But the victory
is being on the court.
Is being on the court. It's the fact that you have athletics to play.
And the thing is, Todd, I want to just, make mention. We've been saying that every single game that we've been out here. And Leominster is 4-0 thus far. But the same holds true in a losing effort as well. The victory is that these girls are on the court and that they're playing every day, that they're together every day, and that they're able to compete every day. That's the victory.
To prove that consistent viewers can finish my sentences,
Oh,
Tim Conway says, at least we're playing. And that is absolutely the moral of the story right now.
You got it. May not be the matchups that you're used to seeing, but at least we're playing.
And it's certainly fun. Shot is off the mark from McDonald. Cavins creates some space. And about 1:15 gone by here in the 4th quarter, and the control is firmly red and gray right now.
Well, they're content just to let the clock do its thing at this point. Oh,
Council with the hard drive, and she hits the floor hard.
If she has a body part left by the end of this game, I'm going to be thoroughly impressed.
That's not bruised.
Talk about giving your all.
Sacrifice. That girl can barely walk right now. That poor thing.
I want to, as we continue to say our hellos and our check-ins here, getting a check-in from another legend of Fitchburg, Mike Pellin, checking in tonight as they are over in Fitchburg, joining us via Facebook Live. And they are enjoying the coverage over there in the Pellin household as well.
And talk about a family that bleeds
red and gray.
Red and gray.
Well, and the great opportunity here, of course, although we love having everyone involved with the coverage, is the great part about these new media using and working with traditional media is you can actually be in either city, watch both broadcasts at the exact same time, and then just pick your favorite announce team. The ball comes to the near sideline, whistle away from the play, and you can jump back and forth. Literally, this is picture-in-picture. It's what it was made for, Bill Thomas, but it's device and device that you have side by each.
I couldn't agree more. It's kind of like listening to the radio and watching the TV at the same time if you like the radio broadcast. And, you hit it right on the head, Todd. It's about the media and the availability and all the ways you can catch these games, and you can combine them, individualize them, watch them over and over again.
6:20 to play here in quarter number 4. Pompey, the little turnaround, front rim, no, and the rebound is ripped down there on the inside and dribbled out of trouble there by Brito. Up floor finds Cavins. Cavins for Council.
That's quite the duo, Cavins and Council.
Indeed it is, and that's senior and sophomore, so there's a lot of knowledge that can get passed and a lot of leadership torches that can be passed in that conversation as well. 5 seconds on the possession. Here's the drive. Gets the shot up, might have gotten a piece of the rim, and they say shot clock violation. Coach Paul DiGeronimo was all over that one, and he is right. That ball looked like from our angle, although we're opposite it, that it did kiss the rim.
Yep.
In college basketball, in professional basketball, they would check the monitor. You don't have that in high school basketball. So you have to have an official, one or the other, that has an angle on that. They did. The official in the trail position had the look at it. He says put 30 on the shot clock. Red Raiders continue with the basketball.
Yeah, I think he had the same look we did. You can see the ball change directions there off the outside of the rim.
Pass forced up long of the mark, out of bounds, and the ball will drift back in the other direction to Leominster.
One of the things that you see there with Council, you can see a little bit of that youth. You have a fresh 30 on the shot clock. You have a massive lead, and the first thing that you do is streak across the floor, outlet a pass, out of bounds. That's youth.
Drive to the lane. Smith does not go. Battle for the basketball. It was pulled down by Brito, and she skidded the pivot foot. The ball will go back to Leominster.
Boulay put up a little roadblock there and caught her by surprise, which created that travel. Good job by Boulay.
5:31 to play here in quarter 4. 36-14. Fitchburg's lead. On the reset. You see it on the graphic. 6 fouls called against Leominster in the second half to 0 called against the Red Raiders. On the alternate possession, the arrow favors Fitchburg. So the Red Raiders are in the bonus the rest of the way. Leominster hasn't had a free throw.
Oh, the rest of the way. I anticipated, sorry.
Oh, you can put it up. That is accurate. They are in the bonus rest of the way.
I'll wait until I'll wait.
All right. Cavins, 3 away. Back rim, no. Battle for the rebound. Down it goes. McDonald to the floor. You could hear the floor burns.
Yep. I wish there was a little bit quicker on the whistle there.
Yeah, that's been probably the one thing tonight.
Just want to be a little quicker on that.
Given how aggressive the play is, the rivalry that's involved here, and of course trying to keep everybody safe out there, the whistles have been quicker in order to stop that action and people, of course, from congregating too close.
Not tonight, though.
Cavins, Council, through the net, body contact, ball out of bounds, and back it goes the other way.
Good crisp pass from there, though. 4 or 5 passes leading to that inside opportunity. Leominster not catching any breaks here, and Fitchburg continues to keep their foot on the gas.
Up floor, the floater will not go for Pompey, and Cavins comes out with the basketball.
1-shot possession once again.
Working that perimeter.
And a foul called on the floor. It'll be 1 plus a bonus opportunity here, as that is the 7th called against Leominster in the second half.
That one is going to be against Cudahy, her second team, 7th, as you said. Fitchburg in the bonus for the rest of the way.
.434 to play here in the 4th. 36-14, Fitchburg with the commanding lead. At the line, it's Smith. And she'll get the first one to go.
She's up to 9 points on the night for the Lady Red Raiders.
Second one off the mark. Battle for the rebound. Down with Pompey. Here's the drive. Smith throws it up. Back rim, no.
Ooh,
Rebound
elbows.
battle down.
Those were some elbows.
Indeed, the elbows out to create some space. And, yep, foul call.
Yeah. Yep.
And the ball will go back to Fitchburg.
I've been trying to avoid this, but here's the scoreboard.
Tread lightly, William.
8.
Tread lightly.
The exact words you're looking for, Bill Thomas, it is a physical impossibility.
8-0
That's the bottom line. And again,
no matter which side of the ball.
no matter
you're
which side of the
rooting for,
ball you're on, it's a physical impossibility. I mean, it covered enough basketball games in 20 plus years. It's physically
I'm
impossible.
giving you 10 seconds to wrap that up.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Remember, we have no crowd.
You can send your letters to rivalryfamilymedia@gmail.com. Offers for classes are always welcome. Bounce to the inside.
I'm just waiting for one of the officials to turn
Shot
around
off
and
the mark.
tee one of you up.
Well, it wouldn't be, well, actually it would be the first time.
Then it would be 8-0.
But it wouldn't be the last time that it ever happened.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Ooh, that sounds like a premonition.
Indeed.
You planning something we should know about, Tom?
Unbelievable. We report,
Cool your jets.
you decide.
Cool your
That is the job here. We'll get the totals post-game.
I'm not going to give you those totals. You don't get to
Well, I
have
know
them.
the answer is Fitchburg has been called for 3. Add on whatever Leominster's been called for in the first half, which is about 7 or 8. 16-0 fouls, or 16-3, excuse me, in fouls.
You're not getting that stat?
I know you're not going to give it to me. I'm going to report it and let people decide. Here's the drive. Hecker tied up on the play and a walk called, and the ball will go back to Leominster. Now, mind you, my
your
point
10 seconds are
my
way
point in this story, Kate,
over.
is that it has absolutely nothing to do with the result of the game.
Yeah.
It's
agree.
just a physical impossibility. 37-14, Fitchburg complete commanding lead. Fouls have had absolutely nothing to do with the result. But again, as a dutiful reporter and broadcaster, you can't avoid a statistic that is so glaringly different. Period.
All right. Point made. Point taken.
Foul away from the play. Fitchburg called for their first in the second half.
And there you
3:34 to play in the fourth. It was a block called. And it was called against Abby Stone.
Come inbounds over here.
Oh, we're getting questions.
We love questions.
Laura Bigelow, I'm on that for you.
Errant pass right there. Bounces off a foot.
It's a
Turnover.
4-point game. If you take away the first quarter, Fitchburg would be up by 4.
So the question out there for those of you that are maybe in motion or are not looking at the chat actively, you don't have your second screen going, if you will. Laura Bigelow, former Leominster High School athlete in her own right, asked the question, if you take away the first quarter, what would be the score of this basketball game? As Pompey goes back down floor, misses the shot and Stone the rebound, and Kate's answer was it would be a 4-point basketball game.
Yep.
So that first quarter, opening.
Actually, pardon me. It would be a 2-point basketball game.
Okay. Still, only further underscoring your point, that first quarter made a lot of difference in the way the rest of the night has panned out.
Yeah. Leominster's offensive production, they had one made basket from the field. They had 2 points in the first quarter to Fitchburg's 19.
I love the participation. Thanks for the question, Laura. We do appreciate it. Had some great folks checking in, cheering on their teams as well throughout the night. The drive down floor, Cudahy draws a foul. 2 shots coming up here. 2:51 to play here in the fourth. Cudahy will have Leominster's first 2 free throws since the first half.
Since
Since
the
the first quarter.
No, second quarter.
Oh, it was in the second quarter?
Everybody calm down. My word.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 of you.
I'm trying to be quiet.
I'll
I'm letting Todd dig the
I'll
dig the hole.
admonish the 2 of you.
Wouldn't be the first trench
mean-
I've dug. I believe that's the Goodfellas line.
And I'm going to reiterate what you said, Todd. It's not the disparity in fouls that have led to
No,
what's
it has
gonna
nothing
be
to do with the
eventual
score.
outcome of this
It's
game,
just a fact.
But it's a glaring discrepancy.
Yes. And Cudahy's shot will go. 37-16, Fitchburg's lead under 3 to play here in the fourth. Cavins, post for Hecker. Floats out, tipped. Away it will go. Laura Young, the junior, seeing some of her first action. Gets in the passing lane and deflects it away. Update from the Doug Grudgefield Fieldhouse over in Fitchburg. Third quarter action. Fitchburg has opened up an 8-point lead on Leominster. 4.5 left in the third over at the Doug Grudgefield Fieldhouse. It's 43-32. Fitchburg on top. And the walk called against the Red Raiders, and the ball will go back to Leominster. Leominster on the wrong end of day one of rivalry week on the basketball end of things. Back up top.
Spin.
Nevard the spin, and she's called for the walk. And the ball will go back to Fitchburg.
I think they let her off the hook there, not calling an offensive foul. She
Well,
kinda
that's
plowed
entirely,
right in.
entirely
Plowed
a
right
possibility
into
as
the
well.
play. That was a foul they might have missed. We're complaining about fouls, but tough call either way right there.
Ball was back into play before players had cleared the floor as well. 2:05 left here in the fourth. And a held ball is the call as Nevard gets tied up with Negron. And the alternate possession goes back to Leominster. 2:06 left here in the fourth. Leominster needs a 2-for-1 at probably worst case on most possessions here.
Now you're making me do a lot of math.
Maybe a 3-for-1 would help to close this gap. Back down floor Smith for Marwa. Back up top. Tip to the near side, Cavan. Battle for the ball. Cudahy kept it alive. Fires forward for Young. Drop post Marwa. Back out to Cudahy.
That's nice passing. That's nice movement by the Lady Blue Devils.
Certainly appear to be a little more poised was the word you used earlier. And then Cudahy threw it away. But poise certainly appeared better on that possession. Passes were a little more of a sure thing, which of course we have seen in a couple of cases tonight. Maybe one of the themes you saw out there on the floor is Fitchburg's been able to jump in those passing lanes because the intended receiver of said pass is not flashing to the basketball. They've got to come to the ball. As much as you're throwing the pass to them, they got to come to the ball.
And those passes have been telegraphed quite a bit as well.
And a walk and the ball goes back the other way. And we've got whistles galore. 90 seconds left here in the fourth.
I thought the officials had somewhere to go.
No, no. One of the things that when we're talking about just what we're seeing from the Fitchburg Red Raiders, in my few years of being able to cover girls basketball, teams like Franklin, teams like Wachusett, you see this crisp, really nice court awareness, amazing passing. We're seeing flashes of that from Fitchburg Red Raiders as well right now.
Indeed. Smith, the shot wide of the mark, and the rebound is down for Allen.
21 rebounds in the second half for the Red Raiders.
Now that is a number that has made the difference, as has three-point shooting, and Cavan's buries another one.
She's got 17 points on the night so far.
Oh my. 1:03 to play here in the fourth. 40-16, Fitchburg's commanding lead. And literally from the moment off the bus. But, we'll mention it. And of course, our coverage was starting up, and you could see a little bit of warm-up going on. You could tell a distinct difference between these two teams from the way they warmed up tonight. Fitchburg came off the bus. They came into the building. They started warming up. They looked like a team that wanted to win the basketball game. Like an Army, Kate, you're absolutely right. A precisioned, well-oiled machine. Leominster, on the other hand, maybe a lot flatter. There was, it was just a little more antithetical, here we are.
One of the things you have to understand is that some of that has to do with, just the personality of the team. I mean, you have to read your student athletes and see what pieces you have, what mentalities you have. If you were to put a ton of pressure on two sophomore captains, what is that going to do if you tighten up too much? I mean, there's this healthy balance that has to be there. And right now, Coach DiGeronimo knows that these girls are responding to that type of atmosphere. And Coach Fredericks, same thing. He knows what his girls will respond to. He knows the youth that he has, and he knows what he's dealing with.
Marwa's runner won't go. Final 40 seconds of the fourth quarter. Leominster is going to fall from the ranks of the unbeaten as Council lays this one in.
She's up to 11 points for the Red Raiders tonight.
She's done so much more than score tonight, though, Katie.
Oh,
She's
man.
been everywhere. You talk about the general. Yeah.
Oh, the distribution of the basketball has been just art, just absolute art.
There's a kick and screen. The shot does not go for Negron, but the putback for Allen. Another box out, another rebound converted to points.
And her rebounding has been absolutely tremendous. Her on the boards tonight, nobody can touch her tonight.
Final 10 seconds of this one. Tresoloni will pop along too. She will hit it, and that is the way this one will end. Red Raiders off the bus to the final horn, a commanding 44-18 victory tonight as Coach Paul DiGeronimo and crew celebrate over on the sideline a complete victory for the Red Raiders in this basketball game.
Yeah, you said it perfectly, Todd. The Red Raiders came off the bus ready to play. You know, we were watching them during pregame. They were clamping, they were chanting, they were singing, they were moving, and I didn't hear much of that down on the Blue Devils side of the warm-up court. And the Red Raiders just carry that right over into the first quarter and beyond.
And that certainly did make the difference in the basketball game. 44-18, Fitchburg a winner tonight here from the gym at Leominster High School. Our coverage is just beginning here on Rivalry Family Media. We've got so much more to come for you. Hopefully get both head coaches over here before this JV game kicks off out here as well. We'll try to get them over here, get a conversation in here from both of them on where their mindset is through their first of 2 matchups this week. Remember, the back end of the home and home comes up on Thursday over at the Doug Grudgefield Fieldhouse for these 2 teams. 44-18, Fitchburg over Leominster. Interviews in the post game coming up next. For those of you joining us on Leominster TV, we say thank you so very much for joining us. And for Billy, Kate, I'm Todd. So long for now. For those of you on Leominster TV, we'll join you again later on in the week. If you're joining us via Rivalry Family Media, we continue. More coverage to come. This is RFM. And back inside the gym at Leominster High School. So many things going on. These JV games following varsity games and the upside-down schedule. Great to have you with us. A 44-18 Fitchburg victory tonight, and we're joined courtside by Leominster head coach Rusty Frederick. And Coach, it's not the game you were hoping for, a 44-18 loss, but we were talking before we came on the air. Such an important time. Sometimes there is a moment for an important loss. This might be one of the more important losses of your season.
Yeah, I mean, it was an upgrade in talent, strength. You couldn't just throw the lob passes around and they're going to get to them. But, after that first quarter, I thought we settled down. Hey, good for Fitchburg and Coach DiGeronimo. They came in and they played a great game. They were ready for us, as you could see, and it was, they put it to us, and you just take it on the chin sometimes, and you let that motivate you. I know these girls, how they were ready to play. They just probably didn't realize the talent, like I told them Fitchburg's a good team. And, these girls will just come back to practice tomorrow, work even harder than they do. I don't know how they're going to do that, but, but it's my job to put them in better positions to be successful.
You're in that place that maybe Coach DiGeronimo's squad was maybe 2 or 3 years ago. They were very young. They were taking some losses like this. They took some at the hands of the Blue Devils at points in time over that couple of years, and now all of a sudden they've reached that maturation process. Here you are on the other end of that, younger, getting talent. First time teams are playing each other in a rivalry. They learned a lot tonight.
Absolutely. It is good for us. I mean, yeah, you never want to lose like that.
Of course not.
You don't want to lose, but sometimes let's see how it plays out here in the future.
Well, this is where the benefit of the home and home comes in. So you've got to go right back, play the same Red Raider team coming up on Thursday. What's the big difference? You get one practice day and you're right back on it. What's the big difference between those two items?
We'll have 2 practice days.
Ooh, all right, 2. That's a good deal.
Yeah, so we'll use it. We'll look at the film, see what we can do to change it up. And offensively, we kind of got out of anything we wanted to do. We just got to settle in. And I thought later on they did it, and then we got away from it. We got to be on the same page, everybody. All 10 of us, 12 of us, same page, and then we'll be better. It's my, put that one on me, It is what it is, and, I want to get better too, so.
You've made it to the halfway point, Coach, of this 2021 season. You got another game on Thursday with Fitchburg. And before you get clobbered by a JV basketball, I'm going to say thank you very much for joining us, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
That's
I appreciate it, guys.
Leominster head coach Rusty Frederick joining us here courtside. We'll continue on. More to come. This is RFM. Back courtside here inside the gym at Leominster High School. The JV action continues here and will be going on right now here inside the gym. Cool. Alongside you as well, and happy to have you along with us at post game. 44-18, the final score in this one. A big victory. Girls in this matchup. Kate, your opportunity to run down those final stats.
Totals first for the Blue Devils of Leominster. 25 rebounds, 2 steals, 20 turnovers. They shot 4 of 4 as a team from the charity stripe. They lose by 26 points, however, in this ball game. Individual scoring statistics, Marwa ends the night with 4, Tressaloni with 2, Boulay with 2, Nevard with 2, Cudahy ends the night with 2, Smith with 4, and Pompey ends her night with 2 points as well. And now to the Red Raiders side of the ball. Team totals first, 42 rebounds, 4 steals, 22 turnovers. They were 4 of 9 from the free throw line. That's shooting 44% as a team. Individual notable statistics, Council ends the night with 11 points, Smith with 9, Allen with 4, Cavins with a team high 17 points on the night. Graham ends her night with 1, and Hecker ends her night with 2 points. And probably the most notable item, the stifling defense of the Fitchburg Lady Red Raiders.
No question about it.
I don't have stats on that, but I can tell you it was formidable.
Well, the rebounds, I think, were one of the items that stood out. I heard you with the numbers on the rebounds, Kate, and I thought the rebounds were a significant storyteller in this one.
Yeah.
The number of offensive rebounds the Red Raiders pulled down versus the number of defensive rebounds Leominster could manage.
Yeah, I mean, and if you take a look, I mean, 42 rebounds in a girls' basketball game, and we've got the offensive rebounds. I've got 10 of their 42 were offensive rebounds. Leominster, I have them for 5. I've got 5, but total of 25 rebounds total. 5 of those were offensive rebounds. I mean, Allen underneath the bucket for Fitchburg on both ends of the ball, just absolutely phenomenal. On the boards. It's just absolutely
it
amazing.
changes the second chance points
Oh,
numbers, which is,
absolutely.
of course, a number that keeping it by hand is impossible to calculate.
Yeah, no.
But if you were able to obviously computerize that number, the second chance points, which by definition is, of course, an offensive rebound with a putback, you know, where somehow you get a second or a third opportunity on a possession and you're able to put it in. Second chance points can make all the difference in the world when you're pulling down 42 rebounds, and about a third of them are on the offensive end, because those can be converted to points.
And that's and honestly that is the item that we can say we don't have the tabulation for points off of those offensive boards, but we know how many opportunities that they had, and the opportunities were plentiful.
Indeed they were. As we take a look, score from over at the Doug Grudgefield Fieldhouse in Fitchburg, about 2.5 minutes to play over there in the fourth quarter. It is a 56-48 Fitchburg lead on top of Leominster. The Blue Devils are poised to fall out of the ranks of the unbeaten on the boys' side as well. All in advance of a renewal on Thursday with this home and home action this week, as Rivalry Week continues here on Rivalry Family Media. Leominster boys action right here, 6 o'clock on Thursday, the tip-off. We will be on the air at 20 minutes of 6, streaming live here, facebook.com/Media Rivalry, and on YouTube on demand. Those games available same evening. Search Rivalry Family Media on YouTube as well. Kate, a fantastic battle we've seen. Obviously, we could see just how close this game's going to be.
You guys are going to have a blast
renewal again on Thursday.
I'm so sad.
I know you will be at parent conferences doing your day job, streaming in.
I will have. I mean, I can say it. I'm going to have you guys streaming on the side, and I can handle doing parent-teacher conferences and checking the score when I have my water breaks, in the 30 seconds in between conferences. So.
And that is what makes you
I'll be one of those
stellar
numbers that you'll be seeing
in the action as well. We do certainly appreciate it. We're looking forward to that one coming up on Thursday. As you see the JV game continue here inside the gym at Leominster High School, young players from both squads getting their opportunity to get some meaningful minutes and to grow and develop. We mentioned the ways to watch. Again, facebook.com/Media Rivalry for the live broadcast on demand, same evening, usually by around 9:30, 10 o'clock. We'll have that game out there and available for you. tinyurl.com/Media Rivalry brings you direct to the page on YouTube. Otherwise, youtube.com, search Rivalry Family Media. Like, follow, and subscribe for that today. And then for updates, scores, schedules, and everything else around the region, at Media Rivalry on Twitter for that information as well. We thank you so very much for joining us. And as we mentioned before we close, the upcoming schedule for the remainder here, again, Rivalry Week continues with Leominster and Fitchburg on Thursday. And then over the next 2 weeks, it's Oakmont-Leominster Week coming up next week, the first week of February. And then that second week of February that wraps up this 5-week regular season, Leominster and Quabbin in a battle of basketball action. So that's the schedule to come for the Blue Devils the rest of the way. You see on the screen the final score in this one tonight. Fitchburg improves to 4-1 overall. Leominster falls to 4-1 overall. 44-18, Fitchburg a winner over Leominster in girls basketball tonight. On behalf of all of us here at Rivalry Family Media, we say thank you so very much for being a part of our family over the last couple of hours. And until Thursday night, for Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, I am Todd Robbins, saying so long, everybody.